His time has adopted an approach that makes quite a bit of sense.
Trying to get to as many members as possible. The gentlelady's time has expired. The gentleman from New Jersey is recognized. Mr. Farage has to leave in a few minutes, so we want to get as many members as possible.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just before I begin, to my friend, he's not here now, Mr. Moskowitz from Florida, there's kind of an old trick in debating. When you're losing the debate on the issue, you change the issue. This is not about Epstein. It has nothing to do with that. And as the chairman so correctly said, the Attorney General is going to be here, the FBI director is going to be here, and we can talk about it till the cows come home. Second thing is, I believe it was you, Mr. Farage, that said COVID changed our world. And in many ways, more than just a biological disease, what it did to us psychologically, governmentally, philosophically was really bad. And we're still not out of it yet because of what happened then. We're losing our freedoms. We are losing our freedoms, and it's not because of an American Congress. It's not because of American courts. It's not because of American Republicans, and I'm going to even say it's not because of American Democrats. It is due to bureaucrats in Brussels and in London, and in other places as well. It's wrong. It's un-American. I am unabashedly, and I think we all are here, hopefully, pro-American. We should be protecting our citizens. Instead, we're watching foreign bureaucrats come to our country and try to force United States companies to censor humor, satire, and news they don't like. It's backwards, it's bizarre, it's perverse, and it's weird. That's what we would call it in New Jersey. It's just weird, and it's not good. It's the opposite of everything that the United States of America fought for and stands for. And it's a globalist mindset. You know, we can all talk about the issues, but I'm going to keep talking about globalism versus American exceptionalism and individuality. I believe very much, sincerely, that the whole battle that's going on now with the right and the left, what's happening in Great Britain, what's happening around the world, what's happening in the United States, is very much that argument. Individuality, and in our case here in the States, Americanism, exceptionalism, or is it globalism? And like the EU's Digital Service Act and the UK's Online Safety Act are the pinnacle examples, and they are, of how upside down things have gotten in the effort to globalize our society. And that is the ultimate showdown. It is resulting in our losing of our freedom, losing our influence, and the only winner here are some countries in Europe, Russia, China, and others. Europe is spending their time attacking American tech companies, dictating how our platforms operate, how our technology operates, and punishing people for exhibiting free speech. The European model, I'm sorry if I offend anyone, but it is wrong. We fought a revolution to defend ourselves. Men and women pledged their lives, their treasure, their sacred honor, so that they wouldn't have to go through this. And we never thought that Americans would be stripped of that. That's why this moment is so serious. It's more serious than most Americans and people realize right now. And you know, for generations, we thought if we were ever attacked, it was going to be a nuclear holocaust. We thought it was going to be the domino theory. We thought it was going to be world wars. We thought it was so many things. I maintain it's this. If we lose our First Amendment rights and our freedom of speech, we have lost everything and nothing else matters. And internet technology is being used as a vehicle to make this happen. So I have a question for Mr. Farage and Mr. Price. This hearing is really good, and I'm sure we're going to have some other hearings. But more than hearings and talking about it, what is it tangibly, this is a hard question, that we can do to stop it? What is it? Mr. Farage, I'll start with you.
The debate we've had here, I mean, nobody here from any side of the debate has told me that the Online Safety Act is a wonderful piece of legislation. You know, right across the spectrum here, you're having your own internal debates about free speech in America, right, healthy, and what this committee is for. I want to make this argument. Yeah, I know these companies are very big and very powerful, many of the tech firms, but, you know, governments talk to each other, yeah? And it needs the American administration and businesses to have an honest conversation. Brussels, you won't get a hearing. They are fundamentally anti-American, frankly, and I was there for 20 years. I saw it. I do think there is a conversation to be had with the British government about the shape of their legislation and the impact it can have on American individuals, their liberty, and American companies. So I'm calling for, as a result of what's happened, the legislation's clearly doing the wrong thing. I think it is cause for proper intergovernmental debate.
I hope that we have it. And by the way, we have censorship in America. Watch ABC, NBC, and CBS. I'm at the meetings. I'm at a discussion. I see and hear what happens. My wife has Channel 6 on, which drives me nuts at home, and it has nothing to do with the damn stuff that actually happened. And that's the truth. We have it already, and I pray to God we don't lose America. Mr. Chairman, indulgence, and I'll shut up. Mr. Price didn't get a chance.
Quickly.
Yes, sir. You talked about putting pressure on, and I agree that Brussels is a cold house for free speech. But a lot of the regulations actually happening in my own country, in Ireland, in Dublin, where a lot of the tech companies are headquartered, their European headquarters. And it's the Irish Media Commission, or Commission na Meán in the Irish language, which is the ground zero really for a lot of this regulation. And here's where I think the US can do a lot, because there's strong bilateral relationships between Ireland and the United States, is to put pressure on the Irish government to stop the bullying of tech companies. And already X is in the Irish Supreme Court soon against the Irish Media Commissioner. So they're already starting the crackdown. So I would hope that you use your good offices here to put pressure on the Irish.
Mr. Chairman, I have a point of parliamentary inquiry.
Gentleman is recognized.
Why is the witness leaving this hearing early, and certainly without?
He has an engagement he told us about. This is not unusual. It's happened before under Democrat leadership of the committee, under Republican leadership of the committee. We're trying to get through as many people as we can. You've had many of your witnesses.
At Wednesday's House Judiciary Committee hearing, Representative Jeff Van Drew, Republican New Jersey, questioned witnesses, including UK MP Nigel Farage, about free speech in the UK. Van Drew expressed concern over the role of foreign bureaucrats in influencing American policies, particularly regarding freedom of speech and the regulations being imposed on tech companies. He emphasized that the battle between globalism and American exceptionalism is at the core of the issue, highlighting the dangers of losing First Amendment rights, which he argued would lead to the loss of all other freedoms. Van Drew criticized the European Union's Digital Service Act and the UK's Online Safety Act, calling them examples of how foreign regulations are being used to censor American platforms, including humor, satire, and news. He argued that these laws represent a globalist approach that undermines individual freedoms and threatens American sovereignty. He went on to say that the U.S. should not allow foreign bureaucrats to dictate how its companies operate, particularly when it comes to censoring free speech. During the hearing, Farage agreed with Van Drew's concerns, noting that the U.S. and European governments must have an honest conversation about the impact of these regulations on American businesses and citizens. Farage suggested that the U.S. should use its strong bilateral relationship with the UK and Ireland to put pressure on European governments to stop imposing these restrictive laws. The conversation turned to the issue of censorship in the U.S., with Van Drew pointing out that it already exists within the country. He criticized the mainstream media, claiming that it suppresses important information and promotes biased narratives. He warned that if the U.S. does not address this growing trend of censorship, it could lose its status as a beacon of free speech in the world. The hearing also touched on the ongoing legal battle between Twitter and the Irish government over the regulation of tech companies. Farage noted that the Irish government is at the forefront of enforcing European tech regulations and that the U.S. should use its influence to prevent further censorship of American companies abroad. As the hearing concluded, Van Drew made it clear that this issue was far more serious than many people realize. He stressed that the fight for free speech is a critical one, not just for the U.S., but for the world, and that the U.S. must stand firm in protecting its values against global pressures.